gentlemen, welcome to another episode of our Fight Night.
Again with the cowboy shit? Really?
Well, I'm doing it because the fights are in Wichita, Kansas, United States of America. Yeah! Can't seem to get rid of it and you can't make it.
You bet I can.
Fine! I hate my life. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw my intro there.
No.
Oh, relax, Hector. God damn. Fine. Easy does it. The fights this weekend are gonna be absolutely sensational. And once again, save your damn pennies because the card is absolutely free. We got a huge headliner and we got some up-and-coming names and some vets that people don't really know because they're not really that pay-per-view worthy of selling the fight type of names. But man, there's gonna be one hell of a weekend to see these new stars evolve. And we're gonna start right off the bat. We're gonna get right into it with Niko Price. Fine. Niko Price versus Tim Means. Niko Price is obviously a fantastic mixed martial artist that a lot of people really don't know when they hear that name. The remarkable thing about him, the remarkable thing about this new era of fighters is they are so well-rounded as he is in his wrestling. He has crazy slams. He has amazing, very unorthodox striking from literally every single angle, and that is including his kicking game. And he's got fantastic submissions. But the style fighter that he is, he leaves himself susceptible to openings because he is so wild and he is such a crowd pleaser as well. These are what I like to call emotional fighters, which is kind of why he got knocked out in his last fight against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He got KO'd in the first round, which doesn't really say much because it was within the first minute of the fight. This is a game of mistakes and capitalizing on those mistakes at the right moments. And unfortunately, he was on the receiving end of that, and that's what made him hit the L in his last outing. He hasn't really fought any of those top names, Randy Brown, George Sullivan. The only two names that he's beat that are pretty scrappy and do have somewhat of a name inside the octagon, previous veteran Brandon Thatch and Alan Jabouin, Pretty Boy, finishing both of them via KO and submission, respectively. Tim Means is a big deal. I know that Tim Means is 2 in his last 5 fights, but he is always out there putting his heart on the line, as does Niko Price does, and he's always fighting these high-caliber fighters, which is something we can't really say for Niko Price at this point in time. But Sergio Moraes, Belal Muhammad, and of course, Alex the Brazilian Cowboy Oliveira. Now, Tim Means is a scrappy motherfucker too, and I think the difference in this fight is going to be the veteranism of Tim Means, if that's even a word. And he seems to be more calm when he's in the octagon. He waits for those openings to come, whereas Niko is kind of like the flip side. Tim Means is not going to get in there and let you ragdoll him like you've been ragdolling your previous opponents back in Fight Time Promotions. This is a whole new ball game. Niko Price's keys to victory here is to keep it a grappling match. Keep wrestling Tim Means and wear him out, because we know Tim Means is going to want to keep this at bay and strike the hell out of Niko Price. If you're going to ask me, it sounds like maybe that I want Niko Price to lose and Tim Means is to win, but I actually think Niko Price is going to surprise everybody here. This is his big test, and at one point in time in somebody's career, you have to go to that next level, and obviously not everybody fails, or else we wouldn't have anybody at the top level to begin with. Sometimes these people succeed, and I think Niko Price could be ready. He could make that next step in his career by beating a name such as Tim Means and kind of putting him on the map. One thing for sure I can tell you though, this fight is going to be the fight of the night, and if I'm going to tell you right now who's going to win, I'm going to say it's going to be Niko Price, and he is going to win via decision. Dana White, get your damn checkbook ready, so I'm definitely taking Niko Price for this one. Now the next fight is going to be absolutely crazy, because once again, we have these new breed brawlers, and it is going to be so much fun to watch, especially when we have Curtis Millender going against Brazilian's own Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. Man, that is fucking hard. Say that 5 times fast. I'm done. Quit. Done. I can't do it.
Gonna fucking do
Got
it.
it. You're the boss. Now, Curtis is on a tear. He is on a 9-fight win streak. And some of that win streak has came against top fighters in, of course, the division. Thiago Alves, Seir Bahadurzada. God damn, that's so many syllables. Seir Bahadurzada. He's 3-0 in the UFC, and by no means necessary has Dana White gave him an easy way in for marketability purposes. He threw him to the wolves right away. He is so unorthodox with his striking. It's like almost watching another young John Jones. Superman jabs, switch kicks, and spinning elbows, and jump spinning kicks. He is very versatile. He likes to stand there and scrap, but he is so methodical. There's no body part off limit for Curtis in hitting. He'll hit your thigh. He'll hit your elbow. He'll hit your shoulder if it's in the way. And a lot of people have too much ego to go for these body parts and just try to hit you in the face, but this guy will literally hit you anywhere to wear you down so he can get that finish. And a finisher he is, especially in LFA. Let's not forget, this guy is a cardio tank machine. Curtis Millender is going to come in this fight super confident. He has seen the bright lights in the UFC and, of course, the other major competing organization in Bellator. He's going to go out there, remain calm, and impose his will in what I believe is going to be a victory for him, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Now, when we look on Dos Santos, not to be confused with Junior Dos Santos, but Elizu is also a machine. When he hits you, it is with scary, devastating, kill you type of power. He puts 200% into every striking technique. But the one thing about Elizu Zaleski, is that he tends to drop his hands. He's got these fancy spinning kicks, the Showtime-esque abilities. He has an amazing wheel kick knockout, tornado kick knockouts. He is fantastic with his feet, no doubt about it. But the one thing about it, it's almost because he has that Taekwondo background, he seems to like to drop his hands, especially when he engages in his close combat, kicks aside, he puts his head down too, and he starts swinging, and half of those shots, he throws them blind. So he's not really seeing from his peripherals. He's not using his complete vision, and that is when you get knocked out. That's something he's gonna have to be weary of. Since being in the UFC, though, he's only had 2 KOs, which have been in the last 2 fights. But the only thing is, these guys are really not names that you've heard of besides Sean Strickland, but Luigi Vendramini. It was a highlight reel spinning kick knockout. That's one thing we can say for sure. It's not necessarily against an opponent that would otherwise maybe not make that mistake. One of these high caliber fighters that kind of goes in there but knows how to remain calm, doesn't let his emotion get the best of him. Having said that, I think you're gonna let your emotion get the best of you. You are not an unorthodox striker. You're just your average brawler. You've proven to have such a tough chin, but then, like I said, this is gonna be a new caliber fighter for you. I think you're gonna gas yourself out real quick, because you're gonna go in there with all that muscle and all that power, and you are gonna swing for the fences, and that's gonna be to your demise. I think I'm not wrong on this one, buddy. If I'm gonna call this fight, I'm gonna say Curtis Millender is gonna get the best of Dos Santos in the first round, because Dos Santos is not gonna let this be a slow starting fight, as he never really does. He's gonna go out there, try to press the pressure, but Curtis, being so confident, and of course that calm demeanor that he has, is gonna back up, and he's gonna catch you with some nasty shots from different angles, take you to the ground, and evidently, even though he's a knockout artist, get that ground and pound and maybe turn it into a submission victory. And that's just what I have to say about that, buddy. Now we're gonna go to the main event. We have previous title contender, the Black Beast.
That is not PC.
No, it's his name. Calm down. It's not like an HR issue, idiot. Derrick Lewis going up against previous title holder in the heavyweight division and an aesthetic, scary son of a bitch specimen, Junior Dos Santos. Now, we got knockout artist against knockout artist. Derrick Lewis, however, is coming off a very devastating one-sided loss against the current heavyweight champ in Daniel Cormier, who, mind you, is significantly stronger than Derrick Lewis. But Derrick Lewis got exposed for the one-dimensional fighter that he is, just standing there and trying to throw those bombs until you go to sleep, and hopefully he connects with them. But Daniel Cormier obviously knew to take this to the ground and take this to the ground real fast and expose all his weaknesses in a blink of an eye. Don't you think Junior Santos is probably going to do the same thing as you as well? I mean, you beat Alexander Volkov, but to be honest, he gave that to you at the very end because he was one-siding whooping your ass that whole time, and I'm sure you know your balls is hot. But that excuse is not valid. Before that, yes, he beat the knockout artist in Francis Ngannou, but it was a very boring-ass fight, and I don't even think any strikes were thrown. I don't remember. I was pretty much sleeping through the whole thing because that's what it made me want to do. And before that, KOing Marcin Tybura, but before that, losing by devastating knockout to Mark Hunt. But it's the same story every single time. He's gonna go out there, swing for the fences for his long limbs without any method behind his madness whatsoever, and by previous showings, he wins by knockout, but he's getting killed the first 3/4 of the whole damn fight. But you were fighting Cigano, Junior Dos Santos, who's held that belt, who's won 9 rounds, 10 if you want to include the first one against Cain Velasquez, getting his shit kicked but maintaining his composure somehow with half a skin peeling off his face. He's back in the win column. He's on a 2-fight win streak. While that may not be impressive, his last fight was a very devastating boxing clinic against Tai Tuivasa. Notice I said boxing clinic because all the strikes that you throw, Derrick Lewis, are not a clinic whatsoever. They're just you throwing your 300 pounds of blubber at someone's face. Of course, if it connects, someone's going to sleep. Junior Dos Santos' boxing is going to be way too much for Derrick Lewis. He's methodical. He's going to keep his distance, and I think he's going to level change as well and try to sit Derrick Lewis on his ass and against the cage, holding him there and uppercutting his face right into the cage. He's versatile, he has cardio, he also has wrestling, and he also has jiu-jitsu. He's not gonna go in there and plant his feet and swing for the fences. So if you're gonna ask me what's gonna happen, I think this is going to the second round, but I think it's gonna be a one-sided clinic. Junior, all he has to do is watch out for that one bomb. That one bomb and the whole fight's a wrap. Look how easy it was for Daniel Cormier. If you're gonna do anything, study those damn tapes, switch levels, take it to the ground. That's where this fight should be taking place. You have the fight IQ to devastate Derrick Lewis as well. Not to mention the ground game, the wrestling, everything I just said. If you're a damn listen, Derrick Lewis, I'm sorry. I think you're gonna go on a 2-fight lose streak, my friend. This is not meant for you. Junior dos Santos is the previous king of this division, and he didn't get there by blind luck, one-punch power. No, he didn't. Look at his abs. Look at his body. He actually works out. You don't. There you have it, folks. Kansas motherfucking rap. Thanks so much for tuning in. We love you. We are gonna see you next week. I'm getting the hell out of here because I'm freezing once again. My hands look like the fucking Pink Power Ranger or the Pink Panther. And I'm fucking freezing. I am getting the hell out of here, and we are gonna see you for next week. So tune in, save your money because the fight's free.
Peace! Will I beg your absolute pardon?
I'm just kidding, Hector. I would never disobey you, buddy. I'm a good boy. I've been listening. Come on, you're not gonna really shoot me, are you? I literally obeyed everything you have said to me.
Besides what I did to Bonnie last night.
And what was that?